Amanda here from createyourfuture.co. So today we have Denise joining us. Hi, Denise.
Hey, Amanda. Hi, guys.
Guys, so we've got an exciting video. We have a success story to read from one of the subscribers. Yay! And then we are going to talk a little bit about mental diets. How do you do it? How often do you do it? So, and yeah, and sort of what a mental diet looks like. So, yeah, thanks for joining us today, Denise.
Thanks for having me. All right, so I'll jump on in. I'm sending you this email because I've been watching your videos for a couple of weeks now, and after years of LOA techniques, I'm finally seeing results. I've been with my SP for 3 years, but we separated a year ago. I wanted nothing but to get back what we had, and I tried everything, which seemed to do nothing but push him away even further. I felt rejected and just plain hurt. When I found your videos, I realized that I was thinking the exact opposite thoughts of what I wanted, and therefore receiving the exact opposite of what I wanted. I went on a strict mental diet, and after about 2 weeks, he came over and he told me how much he loves me and that he is working on himself, but he didn't want me to wait for him. He also said that he's not sure what the future holds for us. Big difference from what has been said previously. I've been affirming that he calls every day, and he has begun to call and text me almost every day. I have also been affirming that he is ready for a relationship with me and makes me a priority. Thank you so much for what you are doing for all of us out here. You have made this so much easier and relatable. I will definitely keep you posted on the wedding. I know it's coming. You do too.
Oh, it's totally coming. You say it's coming, it's coming. I mean, that is so amazing. Like, good for her, I mean, to take all the information that we gave and apply it into her life in a way that she was able to get results is absolutely amazing. I love that. Love it. I think she pointed out something really important is that she noticed that she was focusing on what she didn't want rather than what she wanted, right?
Yep, and that's huge. And it's like we start doing that, or we sometimes don't even know what we're focusing on. But if we just stop and look, oh, this is the opposite of what I want.
Oh my goodness, like totally. Because I think it's almost like, by default, we're just like, we focus on what we don't want. It's like, well, what do you want? And I'm like, well, I'll tell you 20 things I don't want. Okay, well, that's still not what you want, right? And shifting into that is a lot, it takes some time to sit down and to figure it out. Like, what do you exactly want? We know what we don't want. If we're busy focusing on it constantly and we're getting more and more and more of it, right? So even just by taking the time to say, okay, this is what I want, we have to get clear on what we want, because if we don't get clear on what we want, we don't know what our blocks are.
Yeah, totally.
So if, for instance, if I got Jerry, he's back. If I got Jerry and they say, well, I don't care if me and Jerry are in a relationship, it's not serious. Well, then him not wanting to be in a committed relationship isn't a block, because I don't want a committed relationship. It's not until I say, well, I want a committed relationship, that him not wanting to be in a relationship actually becomes a block, right? So your blocks are only in relation to what you're actually looking at creating.
Yeah, and it's about consistently catching all those blocks and keep telling the new story over and over every time they show up and weeding through them. Basically, I tell people it's kind of like you're gardening. You're like setting your new garden bed. So you want to find all those blocks, all those old weeds, and just keep yanking them out by replacing them with new ones. That's how they'll eventually dissipate. And just be as consistent as you can and put as much effort as you can into doing it throughout all your waking moments through the day.
Exactly. And so the other thing, right, that I do the mental diet is I take a look at what's showing up in my reality. If there's something that shows up in my reality that I don't like, sure, I may have a moment where I'm annoyed at it, of course, like that's no problem. But then I look at it and I say, no, this is what I intend instead. And I use what I don't want as sort of a reminder, a catalog to make my next day better, my next moment better, right? So, as that starts, as things go, that's how we build things, like that's how my relationship with Andrew got so well. He did something and, and then he did something and then I was like, okay, I didn't like it. He was maybe late once. So I said, no, I intend for him to be on time. And he was, so on. And it just sort of builds up like that, right? To get to what you want. So it's almost like a video game, right?
Yeah. Yeah, rather than looking at the thing he didn't want and then focusing more, oh, he was late, he was late, he was late, he was late, he's always late, he was late, he's going to be late next time. It's like, no. It's just like you always say, it's just feedback. It's just showing you what you've been thinking. So somewhere something happened where you thought, whether conscious or not, oh, Andrew's going to be late. He doesn't make me a priority. And then it manifested. And so now, okay, cool. Thank you for showing up. Now I know he's always on time. He makes me a priority. He's early, actually. Let's make him early.
He's always early, right? Exactly. Exactly. And, you know, and I think one thing with the mental diet, you know, it's like, well, you know, I've done it. It hasn't shown up yet. But the thing is we can never say it hasn't shown up yet. We can never recognize it not showing up as it not showing up. What we need to do is when we see that it isn't here yet, we need to reaffirm it's coming. It's already here. It's going to be here. You can do it's already here. It's going to be here. You intend for it to be here. You can do any one of those. The important thing is that you're reaffirming what you want. You're re-intending what you want, not dwelling on the lack of it not being here. Just use the lack of it not being here as a reminder to recreate your intention. If you do that, you'll do this quicker than in 2 weeks. Like seriously, you'll do it like in less than 5 days, right? But it takes a constant reaffirming in those moments when you're like, oh, I'm taking the garbage out, and you're like, oh, he hasn't called. No, he's gonna call. Right? And not letting yourself go down those paths, right? The quicker you end it down those paths, the faster you're going to shift it and you're going to make it happen.
Yeah. Like, for example, we all have this where we'll send a text message, and this relates to other things too, but we'll send somebody a text message, and then we have this waiting period where we expect that they won't reply yet. We're not worried about it. We're still like hopeful. They'll reply. And then everyone has their own little tipping point where all of a sudden they go from they'll reply to nope, didn't work. They're not going to reply. And I tell people, just keep pushing that away. Like, keep pushing it out. No, it's always, they will reply. They will reply. Even if you're at 2 hours, 6 hours, because what's going to happen is if you get it 2 hours and you decide, well, they don't reply now, they just won't reply. But if you can keep pushing it out, you will turn it around and you'll get that reply. So it's about just find that tipping point for you where you suddenly go from it's coming to no, it didn't come, and just keep pushing no, it didn't come out. Like it is.
Exactly. The other thing that I do too is I say things like, okay, you know what, I'm going to have a shower, and by the time I'm done my shower, they're going to phone. I'm going to do this, and by the time this happens, then I'm going to get that phone call. So that's what I constantly do, right? The other thing that I like to do is to constantly remind myself that, you know what, I do get what I want to my reality, that my thoughts do create, right? And, I've mentioned this many, many times, is sometimes the smallest little things that really don't mean a big deal that are the biggest to me that make me believe that this is true. Like I remember one day I was manifesting for 6 weeks these flowers, okay, in this hotel room, okay? Like, well, not in the hotel room, but I was manifesting Andrew to buy me flowers and chocolate, and I just kept intending for like 6 weeks, right? And I remember it was the day we went out to this like hotel because he works as a lawyer, so we had to go up to another city, so we went there. And it was this nice hotel, and we walk in, and then there's this flower and these chocolates, and it was like the romance package you got, right? And it came with wine and all this. And I remember that day I was so crabby going there on the ferry and everything. And I was massive crabby, and he was putting up with it. And then I get into this hotel, and there's these flowers and these chocolates and this wine or champagne, and all the time I'm falling, right? First of all, I was crabby just because. Second of all, obviously, I was just like not on it for like my mental diet and life at all. I was like, and it wasn't feeling the love of the magic, right? And then all of a sudden, boom, I walk into that by 6 weeks in the making, intention manifested right there and then, right? And I was just like, I don't know, right? But,
it's amazing.
And everything I was complaining about for 2 hours of my fingers, I didn't do it. It's just those little things that are really a huge deal, like the chicken or like the little tiny things that keep you on track, right? But, but I'm going to say one thing though, that whole entire day that I was crabby and then I was not having a good day, I wasn't actually thinking, oh, this doesn't work, law of attraction doesn't work. I just wasn't thinking about it at all. I was just reacting to my current reality, but not disbelieving the law of attraction, just not liking what I've created for myself. Okay, so there's a difference between, okay, this doesn't work, this isn't happening, then just, good, I just don't like today. Today sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like it. You know, so and I mean, if you would have asked me that day when I was crabby and what's wrong, you're reacting. I was so I just don't like what I've created for myself today. It sucks, right? Still taking full responsibility that I've created it. So I think that's where a little bit of a separation is we can never actually say, no, this doesn't work, because as soon as we say that, then we're never actually going to see it work in our lives. Right?
Yeah, then it won't work because you are so powerful. That's how it works. It won't work if you think it won't work. It's like, okay, obey. She said it doesn't work, so give her more of that. I think too, that's kind of like a testament to there is no divine timing, because it's almost like you actually manifested those flowers to come through when you were in a crabby mood to cheer you up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I look at it. It's like you had been that manifestation, like it sunk, it was solid, it was ready to go. And then you decided, like, I'm in a crabby mood. On some level, you obviously manifested that to happen, to cheer you up, to happen at a time when you really needed it.
Absolutely. And I love that you said that there is zero divine timing. We create the timing in our lives. There's no waiting. There's nobody out there saying you're ready, you're not ready. You choose that, right?
Yep, definitely.
So, you know, if you feel like you're not ready, then you declare, I'm ready. If you feel like, you know, this doesn't work, then you declare that it works. Okay. So you renounce, meaning you do the opposite of what your thought is, as long as the opposite of what your thought is in line with what you're actually looking to create, right? So I think that's incredibly important. So, and you want to catch as many of those thoughts as you can. And the more you catch them, the quicker that this is going to happen. And it's not just a, you know, 1 day, 2 day thing. It's a constantly thing, as long as you want it to continue to happen. So yeah, even with the like deciding that this works, I feel like some of us, I mean, I've done it too, where I'm like, well, I said it 4 times. I said it 6 times. That means it should be showing up now that I said it works. I believe in it. Come on. But you just, that's part of it. That's evidence that you don't really believe in it if you're saying like, well, where is it? Where is it? So that's part of like, keep doing it. Be consistent. You might have to say, I know this works, or I know it's coming 1,000 times. That's okay. It will show up. It has to. So. Exactly. And you're saying it with a knowing that it always does show up, right? And again, right, you know, I can't stress this enough. If you don't have the belief that it always works for you, go out and create little things that you have zero resistance to. It's a huge, you're setting yourself up for failure if you think you're only manifesting and only want to manifest in one little tiny area, like a specific person or money or somewhere where you've got a lot of resistance and negative energy around, okay? Because you know what, it's those little tiny things that don't make a difference that help you to believe that your thoughts do create. Okay, like last night, I was like, I texted my mom and I was like, oh, she's gonna phone me. And then she did. Of course she did, because I just thought she's gonna phone me. So it's those little things, you know, that I create throughout the day that pop up that I'm like, oh, okay, yes, and they keep me going for the long haul on the big things. Right. So this is very important that we recognize this and we create in all areas of our lives. That way, you know, we have the stamina to go on the big things, right? Yep.
Yeah, do it before you go in the grocery store. Start intending for what people will say to you, how, you know, what the cashier will be wearing. Do it for, like, if you have kids, what they're saying, what they're reflecting back to you. Use it with everybody in your home, everybody in your reality as often as possible. Just start having fun with it. Exactly. So amazing. Well, thank you, Denise, for being here today. You're amazing. Thanks for having me. I learned it from watching you. Oh, you're a natural. Guys, if you are looking for any help, Denise does do coaching, and she is available for coaching. The link is in the description below. And guys, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Bye.